Hello, everyone. You know what? It's Thursday. Thursday, I tell you. How are you tonight? How are you this Thursday? This rainy Thursday in New England. It was a rainy, whoosh, whoosh, torrential downpour day here in New England. How are you today? Tell me about your Thursday. What is happening in your world? On this Thursday evening, the 19th of August. August, I tell you. Hey, you hopping in there on YouTube. How is your stuff? I see you sneaking in there on YouTube. I have a hurricane coming my way. My software provider tried to tell me that yesterday, that there's a chance I might get a hurricane. I would like not to have that happen. We did have some torrential rains today. We did. I don't know if that was the remnants of Fred. I really do not watch enough news. For all the retail and business things I know, I really keep my head out of the news. Hey, Sylvia, great to have you here live tonight. Live. Great to have you. Hope all is well in Virginia. Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it is treat time. It is. ABC News says so. Well, if David Muir and Ginger Z is on it, then I am all set. Although I have heard from people that have met him that David Muir isn't the super nice guy he portrays himself on TV as. I don't know if that I have not met him. Sarah. Well, I feel like I've got stuff tonight. Sarah's here. How are you, Sarah? Great to have you here tonight live. Well, I will check the generator then tomorrow. I will check the generator. We got some unbelievable rain this morning, and we had three separate tornado warnings at the store today, at the stores. And that is really loud when everybody's phone's going off with an emergency warning at the same time. Even Cassandra was at the warehouse, and it was going off there, and just all the workers there. Although we had one worker whose phone wasn't going off. She sort of felt left out, that, Apple doesn't love her, that she can just die in the tornado. She doesn't need to know about it. I don't know. But it was something this morning, the weather. Although the rain was good for us today. I am okay with the rain we got today. It has been a very busy week, so hopefully this rain will go through. Hopefully more hurricanes won't come our way, and hopefully we can keep on keeping on with business. The customers are out, they're shopping in store, they're shopping online, they're shopping wherever they want to. So happy to see that. But yes, tornado warnings are bad for business, but we don't get them much up here. Tornadoes and stuff, so it is weird. But I did have an employee once that wanted to know where was our tornado policy and evacuation place in our employee handbook, because they couldn't find that page. And we don't get those very long here up here, those warnings very, very often at all. And it took a lot for me to come up with to keep my composure and come up with a great response. Hey, Marianne's here live. How are you, Marianne? Great to have you here. Love that you're here live. Hope all is well with you and little Missy. And I saw Zach doing a live earlier on furniture. And, there's lots of good stuff going on. Ultimately, there's lots of good things. You have a tornado? I may have to borrow that for our next revision. It was very troubling to this employee that I did not have a or tornado plan, and the run and hide thing wasn't something that was accepted as a good plan. But move away from the windows. But we have had some in recent years. I think it'd been like 50 years since one came through here. Oh no, not a lockdown for little Missy again. Protect little Missy. She's our national treasure. I'm sorry to hear that, Marianne. But, as long as we're keeping little Missy safe, that's what's important. We got to keep little Missy safe. Let's get started, people, with the Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Every night. Tonight, we're on page 118 if you're following along in the book. Good morning. You were lucky enough to wake up today. So come on, socks before shoes. Let's go. Can't argue with that one. Can't argue with that one. Well, there's a lot going on, people. There's a lot going on. Her hair is perfect. There's not a hair out of place. I model my hair just like little Missy. There's not a hair of mine out of place. Not one hair. I'm gonna go to little when I come to the next time I come, Marianne, the next time I come to Illinois. Well, one, we're gonna party. We're gonna party the next time I come to Illinois. But I'm gonna go with little Missy to the hairdresser. I want them to do my hair. I want her hairdresser to do my hair. Love little Missy. All right, people, are you ready for what I've got going on in the world today? What I've got going on. There's a lot going on in the world, and so let's get going. 62.8 trillion. 62.8 trillion. That's a lot of pie. It's a lot of pie. A supercomputer in Switzerland has successfully calculated pi to its first 62.8 trillion decimal places, setting a record for the infinite number. That effort beat the old record by 200 fewer days and 12.8 trillion decimal places. So the old record was 50 trillion decimal places, but it took 200 more days to calculate. I saw this today on a post from our friends at New Digs. Many of you know Sadiqa and Kelly at New Digs in Maryland. Great people. Been to their store. Actually, they were one of the last stores I worked with in person before the COVID hit the world. One of the last stores I traveled to. That's not why COVID happened, but it's one of the last ones I was on site for in 2019. But they had this great quote, and I wanted to share that with you today because this is, and like I talked about last night, we're on a winding road here. I believe it's when we discovered the power of the pivot. You see, just because you start going one direction doesn't mean you have to continue going down that path. If it doesn't suit or benefit you, simply pivot. It's that easy. Don't get trapped, and that's how I started, so that's how I need to finish. Always be prepared to pivot and evolve. You shouldn't look like you started. You shouldn't look like you started. Isn't that a great quote? You shouldn't look like you started. Change is absolutely necessary. So be empowered to control what that looks like for you. Keep going, pivot when necessary, but keep going. A pivot is a change in strategy, not a change in direction. And if you think about some of what we've talked about since the beginning of all this, okay, you are going to be stubborn in your goals, but flexible in your methods. You know where you want to go. but you are going to be flexible in how you get there. This is a winding road, people. This is a winding road. And you are a long ways away from the end. This will continue to wind. COVID or whatever virus is next, okay? Whatever is next, okay, will continue to evolve. This is going to control things for a while. But people are getting better. You are getting better at living with it. You are getting better at working with it, adapting to it, and keeping your business going. Okay, you are amazing because of that. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. A pivot is a change in strategy, not a change in direction. Okay, so again, the headline of the week, and this is from my friend Bob Phibbs, the retail doctor, and his take on it, which I talked about last night. But here's what the news media has been talking about. Retail sales dropped 1.1% versus the 0.3% decline expected. But is that the reality? If you look closely, it was really a lack of inventory driving car sales down and a decrease in online shopping. And remember that these figures are quoted with seasonal adjustments and on a month-over-month basis. So June versus July instead of July over July. So the best way to look at it, which I agree with, is not seasonally adjusted because, I don't know, this is what really happened year over year because that's how we budget. You're looking at numbers year over year. July retail sales were 20.5% better on a 2-year basis, 2021 versus 2019, and 15.9% better on a 1-year basis, 2021 versus 2020. And that's pretty damn good if you ask me. And the child tax credit that people are getting is coinciding with the mid-month paycheck cycle and will be a wave of additional capacity through December. And this was his real good quote that I like. We're going to have a once-in-a-generation holiday this December. A once-in-a-generation. Again, I cannot stress enough. Get your inventory levels higher. We're reaching higher and higher and higher. Yes, you are reaching higher and higher, and you're going to want to have incredible inventory levels. Heading into October and November, we are going higher and higher. Okay? The more, the better. The more inventory. More inventory, the better. More inventory, the better. Yes. That is what I am telling you. Because you can't sell. What is a once in a generation? Kelly, so thankful that we can start the program now that yoga is over. Yoga is over. Kelly is here. So we can start the program now. This will be a once in a generation Christmas, Kelly. A once in a generation because of all the flux of money that is flooding into this Christmas. But it will only be successful. It will only be successful if you have inventory on your shelves. And more inventory than you had in your best year. So if you look at your best holiday season, your best fourth quarter, okay, ever, your historic best fourth quarter, how much inventory do you have? You need 20% more, 25% more to take full advantage of this. Hey, Billy from Resale World hopping in tonight. This is a Thirsty Thursday. Hey, Billy. Cheers to you. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Great to have you here. Great to have you and the Resale World team on board tonight. Great to have you. But you need this inventory. So go to your software. Go to what your best year is. You know what it was. And tell me how much inventory you had on hand that year. Take a look at your inventory. And then say, holy crap, we don't have enough right now. This is what Neil's been telling you for months. I know it feels like we're getting buried in incoming. Okay, buried and incoming. But there is so much more happening, and there's so many good things. And to take advantage of this, it is all about the inventory, because retail is not dead. Retail is not dead. Brick and mortar retail certainly isn't. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you with the next thing that I'm going to tell you about that you did not know. You did not know. There is going to be coming to Ohio and California first. Ohio and California first. A new department store is opening. A new department store. Have you heard about this? Who in this retail apocalypse, with the end of retail coming, and nobody would ever shop in a store, who would be stupid enough to open of all kinds of things a department store? Okay, I know it's Thursday night. We normally do trivia on Friday nights. But any guesses on who would be dumb enough to put all this money? Who's got money? I mean, is it Billy at Resale World that's got so much money coming out of his pockets that he would open a department store? Who would be dumb enough in this economy and the end of retail to open department stores, and not just one? And that's who's stupid enough. Yes, Amazon. Yes, and they're not stupid. They've got lots of money, but they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They know that brick and mortar is real. They know to get their products, especially. You want to know what product they're doing this especially for? To make this, to become a killer in this category? What category they're especially after in opening a department store? Any guesses? Any guesses on categories? Since you got the store right. Okay, the Amazon department store. Okay, what category are they going? Yes, clothing. See, Kelly, you are just top notch after yoga. You are after yoga. I mean, we should get Billy at Resale World to do yoga. The whole Resale World team should do yoga, and they would be top notch all the time. I mean, they're good, but if Ed started leading a yoga program during the day, at lunchtime or something, you guys could be really great there. Yes, clothing and accessories. That is what they are after with opening a department store. They're going to have everything a department store would have. Okay, but they are after the clothing market, and to get that, and which is the bane of their existence for returns and such, is clothing. Okay. But that is what they are after. And with all their Amazon lines of clothing, is to bring that forward in addition to designer. Okay. So that is why they're doing it. They're doing it in a smaller format than what you think of with the traditional department store. These stores will average about 30,000 square feet. Now, 30,000 square feet is what some of these stores are doing on a smaller level. The big guys in the department store business, the Nordstroms, the Bloomingdale's, the others in it have been doing smaller format stores in around the 30,000 square foot size. And so that 30,000 square foot size is the size that Amazon is looking for. So they will be opening next year in Ohio and in California is where they're going to open it. I think it is too early to tell. Yes, they will have dressing rooms. Will they be like Kohl's? I think it's too early to tell for sure, Kelly. But I think they'll be like a small Kohl's would be my initial guess. But I think you're going to see them highlighting all sorts of Amazon products. So you're going to see the Amazon clothing be front and center. You're going to see Amazon electronics, TVs, everything. Sort of like a mini Sears back in the day, is almost what I think is going to happen. But I think there'll be several iterations. Businesses go to Ohio, chains go to Ohio to try things because it is a cross section. If you go back to when we were in Columbus, Adele has it. I mean, I know she has it. I wrote it. But, Ohio is like the crossroads of America for trying things. It's like the American melting pot for consumers. And I wrote a whole thing about it when we went there for conference. So I know I'm not quoting it exactly, but it is like the economic melting pot of people, professions, and just everything. So that's why it's a great place to test concepts, and that's why people go to Ohio because of that. And California, they're just all weird out there, and everybody's a movie star and wears a size 2. So you got to try things out there. So that is the shift there. So that is what's happening with that. Like Peoria was for entertainment. Well, I never knew Peoria for entertainment, Kitty. But yes, I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it that Peoria was like that for entertainment. Our vaudeville. Okay, yeah, I can work with that. The good old vaudeville days. I got my history books on that. I gotta come spend some time in Illinois. It's calling me. Illinois is calling my name. Our friend PJB actually, Joe Biden has sent a letter to Congress. A letter to Congress. What would you write if you were Joe? What would you tell Congress? If you were going to pen them a letter that would make the business community happy, what would you write Congress? This is Joe, Uncle Joe writing a letter to Congress. He got out his pen. He's got a few of them there. Somebody will bring him another one if he loses one. He wrote a letter to Congress saying, hey, those unemployment benefits that are about to expire on September 6th, yeah, let them expire. So the unemployment benefits expire, the extended unemployment benefits for the states that are still offering them, the extra $300 a week expires September 6th, and he said let them expire. He said he did add that if Congress wants to do anything with it, if Congress feels any need to do anything with it, you can give the states permission to use the money they already got from the federal government for COVID relief. So the American Rescue Plan money, you can add a provision to that to allow states to fund their own extension if they so want. Okay, if they are a hard-hit state and they want to extend it, they can. There's no appetite at the state level to do that either, because states have already counted this extra money and spent it in lots of different ways. States got buku bucks under the American Rescue Plan. They got flooded with money. Okay. And there is no shortage of ways that states want to spend that. The least way they want to spend that is on extending unemployment benefits. So it sounds like so he can say that he can play both sides with this letter. So Joe is playing both sides. I care about you, the unemployed worker, because I'm saying your state should give you some of this money we already got if you're in a hard-hit state. And he can play to the business community saying, hey, enough's enough. September 6th, get back to work. Okay? Like I've talked about, it's not that simple. The people who have just sat on the couch since last March, the people who have done nothing but sit on the couch, okay, are not the people you want. Okay? Those are not your workers. Those people are not good workers. Okay, who would rather just sit on the couch. It's not about just collecting. Okay, you do want the mothers who have been stuck at home playing lunch lady, detention room monitor, school teacher, everything. a little bit of everything. Those you do want, but that requires childcare to be open. That requires schools to be open consistently, which I think they're going to be. Schools are going to be open because they need to get it. They need to be open so that they get the rest of the money under the American Rescue Plan that schools were promised. Okay, they have to be open and require in-person learning. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of adaptation going on as we work to know that this virus isn't going away. It's not going away with a third booster shot. Okay, a third shot. Okay, it's great that we're upping the game in America, that people are going to be able to get an extra shot. But the people that are going to rush to get an extra shot aren't the biggest problem. The problem is with the people that won't get one shot at all. So there's still a curvy road, a curvy, winding road that we have to work with here. It is a curvy, winding road that we have to work on. And so the virus will be with us. That's okay. There's all sorts of viruses out there with us. This is a bad one, but if you're vaccinated, it's not that bad. But it is not there. There's not a light switch. You know, when I flip the switch, the virus doesn't go away. Okay, so know that it's going to be part of your world somehow for a long time. So, but we can work beyond this. We can work beyond this. We're headed in the right direction. And you are headed to better things. You are headed to a once-in-a-generation holiday season if your inventory levels are up. And so that's the next number. As we've talked about budgeting during this program a lot. We've talked about a lot of different things. We're talking now that you need to pull out your best fourth quarter ever for however long you've been in business. Okay? Whenever your best fourth quarter was, and you need to look at how much inventory you had during your best fourth quarter and how much of that you sold. And then we need to up that number. Then you need to up it. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I got so much to process now. Yes, you do. And you need to process more. Yes, you do. And you need to process more. Between now and the end of the year, there is so much money in this economy and so many people wanting to spend it. You have to be there ready to take it. You have to be there. So you can do it. You can do it. I have faith in you. I have faith in you. I know if anybody can do it, you can. Yeah, I'm pointing right at you. Yes, I am. You can do it. I believe in you. You got this. You got this. I'm walking hand in hand with you. You got it. Okay, it is. You are amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing. One other important note tonight. I mean, I have lots of other things I can be talking about, but one other note that's kind of important is that Google is on their kick again to get people. I talked about this a few months ago when Google was on it, but they are on their kick again with this. See who's calling with Google Business. And it's free. It's free. And some of you are like, oh, it's free. It's for me. It's for me. Yeah. Google's I'm a little iffy on this. And where I'm iffy on this is that the way this Google for Business calling works is Google then changes the phone number that they're advertising for you. So that's how they track it. They create these shadow phone numbers. Shadow. I can't create a shadow. I don't know how to create a shadow. I am not Punxsutawney Phil. I can't create a shadow. But Google creates a shadow phone number that essentially forwards to your real phone number. Okay, and that's great. That's great. That's a wonderful thing. But if you stop using it, that phone number goes away. But now it's saved in my phone because I used it to call you. So now I think you went out of business when I try to call it. That's my problem with that service. So that's my problem, is it creates a fake phone number. You stop using the service when the service is not free, because eventually Google will find a way to charge you for it. Okay, and it may be worth whatever they charge, but it locks you in because all these people have your phone number, the phone number Google gave them now, versus your actual phone number. So be aware of that. Google is on the hunt with it, and my job's to make you aware of it. What you choose to do with it is up to you. I'm staying away from it right now because I want people to have my number in my real number that doesn't go away, that I'm already paying for in their cell phone, is what I want. So just be aware of it and know what you're getting into should you sign up for it, because Google's on a big push for it now, on a big, big push. And businesses are getting that every day. You know what else is on a big push? Is this. Everything I talk about goes over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. All the files, all the links, everything goes over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yeah, ring the Disney bell. Ring that bell so you know when a new video drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody make it to the other side. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I am here every night at More 8 Than If, broadcasting live in the Nards private Facebook group and on YouTube. But if you have a question in between, yes, you, just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. Hey, Heidi, when did you sneak in? Ladies and gentlemen, we start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start it. Good morning on page 118. You were lucky enough to wake up today, so come on. Socks before shoes. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. You were lucky enough to make it through the day, so take it easy. Brush your teeth. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even, a party in Illinois. I don't know. We're gonna party again. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. It's time for dessert. I hear there's cheesecake.